yeah, Cambly is such a good platform for you, like because you need money right away, right? And then you you want location independence, right?
Hmm.
Like
Right.
place, yeah. So I think yeah, you're lucky that you found Cambly, and also the good thing was that it doesn't require any like certifications. So yeah, which
Right.
is great for
Right.
you. I see, I see. Yeah, so I guess but yeah, so you don't have you said you don't have a teaching like certification,
Hmm.
but sometimes there's a student who want to uh
Yeah.
learn grammar, right? And then well and you but can you do that? Like can you uh like do you sometimes struggle or you're okay even you don't have that?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So I've been doing this for about a year and a half, and I've had almost 1,500 students on Cambly
Wow,
so
that's a
far.
lot.
It's a lot. Um, and every once in a while, I'll have a student that has a very specific requirement. They're studying for the IELTS, or they want to, get really, really deep into some English grammar, something that I don't even know about. Because as a native speaker, once you get through school, you don't study grammar. It's just not, we
Yeah,
just
exactly.
talk.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
just
I
talk,
also
you speak. So you
uh,
speak Korean, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, like that's the exact problem I have. I'm a native Korean speaker, right?
Yeah.
But in school, in Korean class, I'm learning Korean grammar and Korean pronunciation rules, and
Right.
no, I don't know that, right? So yeah, I exactly know how you
Exactly.
feel. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, luckily, that's probably less than 5% of the lessons that I do where I struggle or I have a problem. And if that's the case, then I will. I mean, I have different tabs open. I have like English grammar tabs. I have some NGU, article tabs open. So if the student wants to study sentence structure or pronunciation, I can immediately go there, and I can work through it with the student. And if it's just something so specific and so difficult, on rare occasions, I am just honest with the student. I'll say, this is outside the scope of outside my skill set or something like that, or what you're asking for is very specific and I'm not an expert in this. I'll just be honest with them.
Oh,
Um,
I see.
and I may never see them again, but I'd rather do that than just try to like fake it and pretend and
That's right.
hope,
Yeah.
because I'm just wasting their time and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's yeah, I guess yeah, you're doing really great. Yeah. Yeah, just as you said, it is a good thing to be honest. Like, yeah, because yeah, if you fake it, then it's not it is hard for you because you don't know but you have to do it, right? And it's also not good for
Right.
students. So yeah, I think yeah, you're doing very great. So yeah, which is
Yeah,
kind of
thank you. So I was going to tell you, in this year and a half I've been on Cambly, I've only had one student. I think he was from Korea, maybe 40 years old, 45 years old. And he seemed kind of upset. He seemed a little bit aggressive or in a bad mood, or I don't know what it was. But in the middle of the lesson, I remember he asked me a question and I could not answer the question right away. And he got upset with me. He got angry. He said, "You're a teacher? You're a teacher?" Like
oh, that is
questioning me.
rude.
Well, what I had to tell him was that no, I'm not a teacher, I'm a tutor. And they're two very different things. A teacher is credentialed, right? A teacher has a 4-year degree, they've been tested, they have a bachelor's, um, they've learned how to they've learned how to teach, and they have documentation and paperwork saying they are a teacher. Well, I don't have that, so I'm not going to say yes, I'm a teacher, even though I know in some cultures, like I've had Vietnamese students and Japanese students call me teacher, but it's only out of a sign of respect. It's not because they know I'm a teacher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, like because yeah, yeah, I exactly understand what you said, like when someone respect or when someone yeah, like if they expect you, they can yeah, of course call you a teacher, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. So I had to explain to him, and he was mad. He was mad. I couldn't answer his question, and I understand. But I had to make it clear to him, or tried to, I should say, that I'm not a teacher, but I'm a tutor. I'm here to help you, guide you, have conversation with you, work with you, that kind of thing. But I'm not a teacher. So if you need a teacher, there are many teachers on Cambly. They have credentials. You can find them, and that's fine. And I understand that. And maybe that's what you want or need. I'm okay with that. But I need you to know I'm not a teacher. So, but again, I think he was just angry at something else that had nothing to do with Cambly. He was having a
Oh
rough
yeah,
day.
yeah, I know. I got it. Yeah, I understand. Because some when you're having a bad day, even like it's something not that big, you just get
Yeah,
mad easily. Like you're very sensitive, right? So
that's
yeah,
right.
like how do I say? Yeah, I think I agree with you. And what happened? Like, was he keep being rude to you, or maybe after a day he was like,
Um,
understand that?
well, that's a good question. Well, first to echo what you said, when you're having a bad day, your anger comes out in different ways, right? Like if you have a bad day at work or at school, you come home and you kick your dog, right? You shouldn't kick your dog because you love your dog, but that particular
Yeah,
day,
I
you know,
know. Yeah, I get the idea.
yeah, but he didn't hang up, which is interesting. We
Like
finished
he
the
just
lesson.
leave the class.
No, he didn't. We just continued, and I tried to tell him the things that I just told you, that I'm not a teacher and here's the difference. And if you're looking for a teacher, you can find one. I just tried to calm it down and finish the lesson, and he stayed with me. Um, but I've never seen him again, and that's okay. That's fine.
Oh, I see. I got it. But I guess, yeah, well, I think, yeah, I respect you because, like, because when someone is being rude to you, you might also be rude to them, rude to him,
Yeah,
right? Because you get upset, like, he said rude things to you. Are you even a teacher? Then, you get angry, right? That you can also be rude, but I guess, yeah, uh, you didn't being rude to him, right? Yeah, you just explain him like patiently. So, yeah, now, yeah,
yeah.
I respect you.
Yeah, I tried to, because you're right. As you know, we feed off each other's energy, right? So even if I'm calm and collected and peaceful, if you're consistently aggressive or angry, I could potentially be drawn into that, and then we're just, yelling at each other. Well, first of all, everything I do is being recorded on Cambly, so
Uh, that's true.
it could be a problem in the future if you were to say, "Oh, that Eric, he's a jerk, and here's my proof," right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that aspect of it. It's being recorded, but I don't even think in those terms. I just realize, first of all, people who come on Cambly, I believe, have a lot of courage, because learning a second language is difficult. It's challenging, and English is not easy to learn. And so I understand some of the frustrations and being upset that I couldn't answer his question. So at the same time, if he was really being abusive, I would have ended the call. You know what I
But he
mean?
was not that much.
No, because it was about 20 minutes into a 30-minute lesson. So it kind of surprised me. I thought things had been going well. And then all of a sudden he got angry, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Out of 1,500 students, I had one that was upset with me. That's pretty good.
Oh, I see. So you don't have a lot of students like who is being rude, because you don't know because you don't answer their.
No,
I see.
no, very lucky. I think I've been very lucky. And I don't know about other tutors. Maybe they have a lot. Um, I have some students, I will say, from certain countries that they are more rude or more aggressive or more confrontational than other countries, right? Um, but I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to, tell you everybody from this country, they're jerks, but there are some countries and cultures that are very different from Chinese, Japanese, um, Vietnamese, or Brazil. I've never had problems usually from with students from these countries, but there is one particular country that I have difficulty with, and it's nowhere near Korea. it's in
Oh,
a, in a different part of the world.
I see, I see. Well, I just, I hope, like, I wish you the best into not meet those students anymore because, I like, because it's not good for both of them, right? You're tired and they're tired, and right.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just hope you met students, like me, or not just like me, like students who prefer conversation, or
Yeah,
students who don't
yeah.
ask
Well,
like,
it's very nice of you to. It's nice of you to say, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that. But I will tell you, even that particular country I'm talking about, where most of them are difficult, um, I still learn a lot because I think it's a cultural thing. Um,
oh,
it's not a coincidence that this one particular country has a lot of people that are difficult to talk with. So I need to figure out, well, why is this? Am I approaching them differently? Am I doing it wrong? Is there something I can learn? So those calls are difficult, they're challenging, but I still take them and I try to work with them.
wow,
So,
yeah, sounds like you're a positive person. Yeah, because
well,
usually,
I don't know about that. I I have had my moments. I've gotten upset. I've gotten angry on Cambly, but luckily it's very rare.
oh yeah, that would, yeah, that is a good news, right? And also, yeah, well, like this, in my opinion, uh, like speaking of like specific questions and grammar, yeah, I don't really think grammar is like useful. Maybe yeah, it might be useful in exam, but
Hmm.
like, but yeah, but my purpose on learning English is to use English to communicate, right? And when it
Yeah,
comes to communication, like I believe in connection, not perfection, right? Even like native speakers
beautifully
make
said.
mistake while they're
Beautifully
talking,
said.
right? So yeah, well, I think uh when when I see a student who is like really want to learn grammar, I just I sometimes don't understand because where when are you going to use that, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
like I
that is a great point. That is an excellent point, because I've
yeah,
mentioned this to some students, because I believe it's true also. Communication. What did you say? Communication instead of perfection.
perfection. Yeah, yeah, perfection.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's 100% true, and I've said this because I've had students tell me they want to learn English and grammar and pronunciation perfectly. Well, first of all, that sets off a red flag. I actually told one student that it's kind of a mistake to chase perfection because nobody speaks it perfectly, right?
That's right.
But anyway, even native speakers, native English speakers, I've been speaking English for 55 years. I'm not perfect at it. But what you said about grammar is you're 100% right. I sometimes need to let students know that unless you're writing an essay or writing a book or doing something where grammar is actually important, grammar's not really where you want to focus.
That's right.
Cambly,
Yeah.
especially, is not best for grammar. It's about listening experience and speaking experience, not about punctuation or sentence structure, right? So I
That's
agree
right.
with you 100%. Grammar is not as important as people think.
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah. I can't believe is a more as how do I say more like a conversation app.
Hmm.
And like if you want to learn grammar, yeah, you can you can learn that in school. You can learn
Right.
that like with Korean teacher, yeah, because right, like
You can learn
not
that on
the
your
native
own.
English speaker. You can also learn grammar with grammar book, right? So I think
Right.
yeah, I agree with you. So yeah, since because of a lot of reasons, I also learn English in sounds. Like I watch YouTube
Hmm.
videos in English. Well, that's
Right.
yeah. My dad also prefer this way. And I think yeah, this is right. And also yeah, like and also if I have a grammar test, I still got like 80 or 90, which is a decent score because I'm used to a lot of sentence and you know and when you see when you see English question, you see the like weird sentence right away. Like, oh, I this sentence looks weird. Like I've never seen this sentence before, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, like yeah, if you just yeah, so even if I don't learn grammar, I still can solve a lot of grammar questions, right? So
yeah,
I think yeah,
exactly. It's much
this
more
is
important, I think, to be able to understand and to speak clearly. If something sounds weird, then it probably is. But grammatically, I don't know.
that's right. Oh yeah, by the way, the time is running out. It's time to say